back for round two. I say round two. It's sadly what we're going to talk about because we've got round two with Man United. Of course, we faced them in the Premier League and we faced them in the whatever they're calling it. They still call it the Haribo Cup. I don't know. It's the League Cup, which actually, tell you what, that probably leads on to the first question. Actually, here, how seriously do you think we should be taking the League Cup? We'll talk about the Premier League game, but it just sort of occurred to me. Do you think we should bother with that, bearing in mind we're in Europe?
To be honest, I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but I probably wouldn't take it too seriously. Um, but at the moment we've got a full fit squad, so we can probably put out quite a decent side. But I certainly would look at resting a few people in the leg, and maybe if anybody's got any sort of strain or anything, maybe I'd leave them behind. I do worry about Souček. Souček has played an awful lot of football in the last 18 months. He just hasn't had a rest. I can't remember him being injured. Got sent off once, and I think that got overturned. He's played virtually every game for us. So I'd certainly look at maybe giving him Tuesday or Wednesday off, whatever day it is next week.
Yeah, crikey, don't say that. You made me worried now. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, so what about the league game coming up? Because I take it we can probably safely say that League Cup game, we start Ben Johnson, we start Fredericks. There's a number of others who will probably start. Krell would start, Noble would start. That's the Yarmolenko up front. It's that sort of team that you're looking at for the League Cup game, I think it's fair to say. What about the league game?
The league game, I think we start with our strongest possible side, which would be relatively similar to last week. If it's up to me, I'd put Zuma in for Dawson. And then up front, probably play Bowen as a false nine and bring Vlasic in for Antonio and then leave the rest of it the same.
What did you think of Vlasic? What have you thought so far?
Um, he looks promising. He certainly gets about the pitch quite a lot. Does chase back. You got to give him time. His record at his last club was superb, and I think he will be a good signing.
I mean, there's a difference between giving him time, which is fine. I would totally agree, by the way, and putting him in against Man United. How much of a hindrance? Obviously, Antonio is going to be a big miss, but we discussed Europe in yesterday's video. Or tomorrow's video. I can't think what order I'm going to put this out because we had some technical sound issues on it. How much of a hindrance is losing Antonio, and how confident are you that whatever Moyes concocts will be able to inflict some damage on him? Really,
Antonio missing is going to be a big miss because to me, literally, there's him and Lukaku. I think they're possibly the only two forwards that pose a massive physical threat in the fact that they are stronger, literally, than any defender who's playing against them, with the exception of Van Dijk. Um, if I was Maguire or Varane, I would be worried about playing against um, Antonio. But if we play a false deep lying nine, we then have the situation that who do their two centre backs mark? And, that can cause problems. I mean, John Lyall played an absolute masterstroke in the 81 Cup final when he did that with Stuart Pearson, and Arsenal just didn't know what to do with their centre backs.
80.
Oh, sorry, 80.
And you were there. You were there. You
I
left
know.
me. You left
I
me at
was
Nans.
I
Left me
was
at
slightly
Nans.
drunk.
Dumped me off at Nans with my tanks and my action men and all the rest of it. Said you were off. Watched that on telly. And yeah, now you can't even remember. I remember. Don't worry about that. 1980. But carry on.
Yeah, so no, I think we can pose them problems in that they won't know, and I think the thing is our forward line are beginning to interchange well. Ben Rama is swapping sides. Even Lanzini, when he came in the last game, he was moving around the place. Fornals dips in and out, so does Bowen. So I think we will pose potential problems to Man United. Of course, they're going to pose lots of problems to us. I was glad to see that Kufal was given a rest because I think he needs to be really on his A game against Cristiano Ronaldo on Sunday. And you've got to worry about Man United, but look back to last year when we played them at home. We were the better side for 60 minutes until they got that lucky first goal, which should never have stood. And if that first goal hadn't have gone in, I think it would have been a very different result. And the big thing now is that Moyes needs to have some belief. The one criticism that I will lay at Moyes' door for last year was that when the big sides were possibly not at their strongest, we didn't attack them. We really should have had a go at Liverpool when they started losing all those games at home, but we didn't. We went very cautious against Liverpool, and other clubs like Burnley saw that they were weak and had a go at them. We didn't. So that would be my worry with Moyes, that he goes back into his defensive shell against Man United. And I think if we do that, I think that's a problem. We need to go. We need to get up the other end and pose some problems. Rice and Souček look to be fully fit, so they'll give good protection to the back four, and hopefully, I think we should be able to cause them trouble.
Yeah, I like the comment about Soufal, certainly, because I think I don't. It's hard to know which part of the pitch Cristiano Ronaldo is going to occupy. He's that kind of player. I said to Gio when we've already recorded our preview for the Man United game. Certainly, it'll be out long before this video sees the light of day. But Cristiano Ronaldo is the best player I've ever seen play live and the greatest goal scorer in the history of football. I don't think you can't use Pele's record; it doesn't stand up to scrutiny. And I'm not saying Pele was crap, but Cristiano Ronaldo is statistically the greatest goal scorer the world has ever known. So. That being said, we don't know what part of the pitch he's going to occupy. And if he does come into contact with Soufal, I do think that is going to be worth the entrance fee alone, because I think you try and wind him up and he might just manage it. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think you get all of this experience that someone like Ronaldo's got and not be able to handle people that are trying to wind you up. It's not going to be the first time. Well, what is he? He's nearly 72 now, isn't he, Ronaldo? So he's going to have a lot of experience of people trying to get under his skin. So he might well handle it, but I do think it's going to be a very, very interesting little duel and confrontation, hopefully confrontation between the two of them. What about Zuma? You've now seen him. Well, I guess you've seen him play more than once. You've seen him play for Chelsea. What are your thoughts on Zuma at West Ham?
Looked very good. Looked a real threat in the corner situations. He attacks the ball. He has got a mistake in him, but then there's very few centre backs who haven't. I'd bring him in for Dawson. He looks much more comfortable on the ball and he's far more mobile. And I think the one of the things you do need against the Man United attack is you do need a defence that's pretty mobile. Creswell isn't the quickest. Bonner isn't the quickest. So I think we do need some pace at the back. And Zuma for Dawson to me is a no-brainer. And to be honest, I wouldn't be adverse to bringing in Areola instead of Fabianski.
Why?
Fabianski, to me, has looked to be indecisive, and I think Man United can play on that. His distribution seems to be getting worse, and too often in the last few seasons, he's actually got injured in games as well. So Areola for me looked very good for Fulham last year. I think he is a decisive goalkeeper. So I don't think Moyes will do it, but if he did do it, I wouldn't be overly worried about it.
And do you think, just finally before we finish, do you think we can get something from the game?
I hope so. If we'd had the same amount of rest as Man United and we'd played at home rather than away, I'd feel much more confident. But because we're relatively new into the season, Rice seems to have got his old mojo back. Yeah, I still think we could get something with just a little bit of luck.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I have. I've gone all out and predicted a 2-0 win for West Ham, but there you go. I do like a bit of a sensational score prediction. That much is sure. My accumulator before each Premier League weekend is always well worth reading. That's for sure. And you know what? One day, mate, I will. Hopefully, I might win. If I do, I'll be a very rich man, and I'll be able to buy you a new shirt. He says wearing a shirt with pineapples all over it, of course.
You're
Right,
so kind.
that's it for me and him. We'll be back. Well, he won't be back. I will. Later on today, which hopefully this video goes out on Match Day Saturday. So we got the build-up show. We got player ratings. We've got everything here on Hammers Chat. Don't forget, please do like and subscribe to the video, and we will catch up with you later.